Hello everyone. So today in today's session we will be learning about the only two root words, and from that two root words we are going to learn about 28 new words. You heard it right. 28 new words. So we are going to learn two root words, and from that two root words we are going to learn 28 new root words, or not root words, 28 new words. And let me first tell you what are those two root words. So the first word is chronos. That means time or something that is repetitive in nature. So you have heard about chronology. So time or something that is repetitive in nature, that is chronos. That was our first root word. Then there is one word that is pathos. So I heard about this term pathology, so you can relate it to with that. Pathos, that means some feelings or any type of disease. The way I have fever and cough, cold, so that is pathos. Now, what are the words that we can create out of it? So, you have learned or read about this word that is called chrony, that means something that is happening again and again. So, delusion, you say, like, okay, this thing has been happened with me again. How can I change that? The thing that happens again, that is chrony. Along with that, we have another word that is chronicity. Chronicity. You have heard about this word that is adosity. So similarly, this word is chronicity. That means the state of something that is repetitive. So the state of repetition is chronicity. So if someone is coming out late in a party always, then that is an state. So that is an chronicity of that person. Chronicity of that person. Then there is chronological. So chronological. Okay. So you say that when you first studied in LKG, then UKG 1, 2, 3, 4, then you enter in 6, then ninth, then you give in the 10th board examinations for the first time, then you go in 12th, then again you give the board examination. After that, if you are preparing for JE, NEET, CLAT, TET, everything. So there is some time bound structure. There is a structure that we have to follow, and that has a time order. So something that has a time order, one after the another, then that is chronological. So chronological, it means in time order. Then there is chronology. So something that is being in time, and we study about that. That is chronology, study of time order. Then we have chronologist. So the person who studies these study of time is chronologist. Then there is chronometer. Now, here is a catch. Chrono means time, and metron, that means meter, that means measurement. So, a device that is used to measure the time is chronometron. After that, we have a word that is chronometry. So, chronometry, just like geometry, from the geometry, there are basically various shapes. So, chronometry, that means measure of time. Chronometric, so something that is related to measurement. So these are the words. Now here is a good part. Now we are going to move forward to another dimension, that is anachronist. Anachronist. So if you see something that has written ana, that means not. That means not. So something not time. So if you have no time, then that is out of the time. So if something is not in my time, that is out of a time. So if you have to do some task and there is a deadline for that, but you see that you are getting some difficulty in doing those tasks and you are running out of time, and after a particular time that deadline has passed, so you ran out of time. Means time is over, deadline is over, you ran out of the time. Then there is synchronize. Now you have already heard about this one, synchronization. And now let's think in a different way, like creating the words from their root words, trying to understand the meaning of those words with the root words. So synchronize, let's bisect it. Sync, that means think, that means together. Sync means together. Then chronize. So chronos, time, chronize, time. So together time. So do some time. Do at same time. Same no time. So something that we do at the same time, that is synchronize. And synchronous is something that is happening at the same time. So JavaScript is a synchronous language. Why do we say that? Because JavaScript is a language in which tasks happen at the same time on a different threads. Now this is wrong basically. Then there is synchronization. So just like photosynthesis is a process by which plants make their food, in a similar way, synchronization is a process. Then there is incongruous. Incongruous. So in, not, in, not, congruous, matching. So something that is out of the place, that is incongruous. Then we have some words. Okay, now here is our second root word. That is our second root word. That is pathos. Now there are basically two meanings related to that. The first one is disease. The second one is feeling. Now let's try to understand or know some words, how we understand or make new words from this particular root word. So you have learned about or read about this word that's called pathology. Pathology, it's not pathology, it's pathology. That means patho, that means disease, and a logy, it means study. So study of disease is pathology. Pathological, so something that is diseasable, abnormal, that is pathological. Then pathologists, so if someone is in an expert in someone, then to those person we try to write ist. Pathologist, dermatologist, it is an expert. So someone who is expert in those diseases, then that is pathologist, study of those diseases. Then there is sympathy. Sim means together and pathy means feeling. Pathy has two meanings, disease and feelings. So sympathy, sim means together and pathy means feeling. So if you have some positive feeling towards someone, then that is sympathy. So there are a lot of words, that is sympathy, apathy, and empathy. SYM, sympathy. There is a root word, pathy. So SYM, sympathy. Then there is apathy. So apathy. Then there is EM, empathy. So let's now understand these three words. So sim means together and pathy means feeling. So feeling with someone, that is sympathy. Then there is apathy, that means here means not, and pathy means feeling. So if you do not have feeling for someone, or you hate someone, dislike someone, then that is no feeling, apathy. Then there is empathy. Em means empathy, in feelings. So if you have feelings for someone, that is feelings as someone. Then that is empathy and empathetic, empathize. These are the adjective and adverbs. Then we have pathetic. So you say that causing pity. Basically, if someone is not doing well, then that person is in pathetic condition. So that person is not doing something good or going with the bad phase. So in a pathetic situation. Now this word will blow your mind. That's called telepathy. Now tele means distance, pathy means feelings. So if someone has feelings from distance, then that is telepathic, and that's obviously means mind reading. So if someone read your mind from a distance, then that person is telepathetic person. Telepathetic, telepathetic person. So we have learned about these two root words, that is pathos, that means feelings and disease, and another word is chronos, that means time and repetitive. So we have learned about a lot of words from these only two words. So this was session 16 of the book Word Power Made Easy. And yeah, there are a lot of learnings as well. Apart from that, there can be some improvements in myself as well. And I'm thinking of continuing this, but I feel like I will be doing some other stuffs as well, because these kind of things kind of being repetitive for me, and I don't like to repeat of things more often. Like if I'm doing some task, but what I feel is basically yesterday I was watching something, a podcast where it is said that, where it was asked a question that apart from the learnings, what are the learnings you get when you meet successful people? And the person replied that everyone who are successful, I see a common pattern. And that common pattern is they love to do the boring stuff. So they do the boring stuff, like they eat as usual breakfast daily, the boring breakfast. They do the stuffs that are very boring. So that is the whole point. So in my mind, what I think is that these tasks are getting very boring. I have to just read those things and then try to make notes out of it and then speak on the camera and then upload. So this is quite a heavy task and boring as well. So my mind is saying, or I feel like try something else. But the point is, I'm not going to do that. Why I'm not going to do that? Because this is something that is causing an uncomfort to me. That this is something that is causing uncomfort to me. And if you do not push your limits, then how will you know what is your limit? So I am pushing my limit to just completely read that book, then talk about this with my mind, that you're saying that you cannot read that book and you are going to drop off in between. Now that I have proved you wrong, it means I can prove you wrong anytime, anywhere, and I will control you, you will not. And who is here the you? My mind and my brain. I have I want the authority of myself on myself. Not my brain, not my heart, not anything. I want the authority of myself on myself. Oh, lot of philosophical words, philosophical talk. Okay, now that's it for today. Bye bye.